Hi everyone, this is going to be Allura's first look into MAC's Heavenly Creature collection. It releases in stores on July 5th, which is a Thursday, but it's actually available currently online for you to purchase already. This is one of MAC's really big mineralized collections, so you have mineralized skin finishes, blushes, and eyeshadows, plus some lip products. As always, please make sure to check out allurabeauty.com. That's where I will have full in-depth photos and reviews for you to read and look at. In this video, we're going to look at the first impressions of the formula and the colors. I want to show you live swatches to let you see how the product actually applies onto the skin instead of just still photos or swatches after I've already applied the product. But the blog will let you get closer up photos and an in-depth review of how good the products actually are. Alright, please make sure to first look at those reviews and listen to the information in this video and on the blog, and then thereafter, if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them in the comment section or on the blog in the comment section also. Alright, let's look at these products. So first up we have 9 mineralized eyeshadows. These are all new limited edition colors and they are $20 each. From the top to bottom, left to right, you have Allura, Magnetic Attraction, Neo Nebula, Universal Appeal, Invincible Light, Earthly, Water, Bright Moon, and Sky. So I've applied an eyeshadow base on my skin first. I'm going to use a dense flat brush to apply the eyeshadow. I will show them to you dry and applied with a damp brush. First up is Allura, which has peach, green, and brown colors in it. Great pigmentation, very soft, applies smoothly. Now I've lightly sprayed my brush, applying the same color. So here's the color two ways. Dry is a little more brown and wet is a little more golden and green. Next is Magnetic Attraction, which has orange, pink, and gold in it. Applied with a damp brush, it's a little more bright in tone. Here you can see it up close. Next we have Neo Nebula. It says cream, warm amethyst, and pink. Same color with a damp brush. That purple shows through a little more. Next is Universal Appeal. It says gold, bronze, and violet. This color is showing up quite dull on the skin, at least swatched dry, and it's quite uneven when applied wet. I like the color better. That purple is more vibrant and lively. It's not as dull, but just a little more work to make it even. Here is Invincible Light, swatched dry. The pan has icy white, lavender, and gold. It comes off as a very pale pink color. It does have larger glitter particles in it than the previous colors we've seen, but applies fairly smoothly. Here it is with a damp brush. I would suggest using this color dry, not wet. But if you do want to get more of a pink color as opposed to a frosty color, if you press and dab this way, you can get a better finish. Otherwise, it's really streaky. With MAC's Mineralized Shadows, the ones that have, you can tell in the pan when you look at it, the ones that have a more gritty texture and larger glitter particles do apply very uneven or in a streaky manner when applied wet. So you kind of have to apply it in much smaller strokes than you would apply it dry. It applies much more smoothly when you apply it dry. Next is Earthly, which has beige, peach, and cool brown. Has a matte brown in the pan. So even though all of these have a frost finish, this color doesn't have quite as frosty of a finish. It's still shimmery. And with a damp brush, get a more distinct division of the different colors in the pan. You see the gold here and the brown and cream here. Here is water. It has yellow, lime green, and blue in the pan. Not a very flattering effect on the skin. It's kind of like a pea green there with a hint of some grayish blue. Let's see what it looks like applied wet. Not much better. So this seems to be the most disappointing color so far. That yellow should just really pop, but it gets muddled by the other colors in the pan, and it just doesn't quite come out as a flattering color there. Next is Bright Moon. This has gray, silver, and an icy green, kind of like an aqua in the pan. Nice frosty blue that you get there, even smooth finish. Applied with a damp brush. A little uneven, but that blue, that frosty blue color really gets intensified. So with a little work, you can even out the finish. And last we have Sky, which has green gold in the pan, turquoise, and a cobalt blue. This color has beautiful, smooth, even color and really good payoff. And applied with a damp brush. Not as flattering, I think, because most of the color in the pan is matte. There is that frosty color in there, but the majority of the pan is with a matte blue. So this color probably is better applied dry, but both have good color payoff, so maybe just personal preference. Next up are the 4 new Mineralized Blushes. These are $23 each. And the colors are Solar Ray, Ring of Saturn, Stratus, and Supernova. So just to show you a dense color, I will swatch these with my fingers. Here's Solar Ray. Of course, this is not what it's going to look like, hopefully, when you apply it to your cheeks. But this color is peach and gold, very strongly pigmented, very frosty finish. Next is Ring of Saturn. It's a terracotta and gold, Mac says, but it's not a gold, it's like a very light peach in the pan. Next is Stratus. This is, Mac says amethyst and golden brown, but really it's a golden brown and a really deep plum color. And Supernova, which is a magenta and burnt gold. So all of these have really strong pigmentation. All have a pretty frosty finish, but Solar Ray by far is the most frosty and has the largest glitter particles. Now for a more realistic view, here is Solar Ray. I'm applying this with an Eve Pearl brush, 112 brush. The problem with this color when applied with a fluffy brush, as you would on your cheeks, is that it picks up most of the kind of chunky gold glitter and not a lot of that pink or peach color. So the pigmentation is actually very weak once the color is blended out. This kind of shows you the importance of not just, when you're looking at different blogs or even swatches and videos, it's really important to see how the product actually applies and not just some thick swatch on the skin, because that's not a realistic view of what it'll look like. I'm going to layer this just to try to bring out that color more. Still, unless you use a much denser brush, which you shouldn't have to in order to get pigmentation out of a face powder or a blush powder, but unless you use something that's much more dense and you really layer it, you're not going to get that very light peachy pink color out of this blush. I'm next applying Ring of Saturn. Much better pigmentation on this color. Get this sort of soft terracotta with a silvery champagne sheen to the skin. Next is Stratus, getting that deep plum color. Again, good pigmentation on this blush. Smooth, even application there. And here is Supernova. which is a mid-tone violet pink color. I would say more like a magenta pink color. Not as high of a frost finish, just gives a little bit of sheen there. Alright, here are the 4 new mineralized skin finishes. They are $29 each. First we have Earth Shine, then Light Year, Star Wonder, and Center of the Universe. Again, just for clarity's sake, I'll swatch these first with my fingers. So here's Earth Shine, Light Year, Star Wonder, and Center of the Universe. For a more accurate view, here it is applied with the same fluffy brush. So usually MSFs are not that pigmented because they're intended just as a face powder as opposed to a blush, but these seem to be much more pigmented than normal MSFs, so you could definitely use them as blushes if you wanted. If you want a lighter application for more general face powder use, make sure to use a much fluffier brush, maybe even a fan brush. But here is Earth Shine. You have tarnished bronze and gold. Next is Light Year. This is a peachy pink with gold shimmer. This is much more typical of an MSF. So the pigmentation isn't that strong, just gives you this slight pinky golden sheen. You could certainly layer it to increase the color payoff if you wanted. Next is Star Wonder. This is a slightly deeper pink color. And last is Center of the Universe. Max says this is a coral with gold shimmer. The gold definitely predominates over the coral tone, but it does have a slight orange hue to it. Next we have 5 cream sheen glasses. They are $19 each, and the colors top to bottom are Celestial Kiss, Strictly Plutonic, Meteoric, Astral, and Galaxy Rose. So here is Celestial Kiss. This is a pale, cool peach color. Next is Strictly Plutonic. This is a mid-tone pinky brown. And cream sheens are typically translucent or sheer colors. Third is Meteoric. This is a mid-toned coral. Fourth is Astral, which is a bright yellow-based pink. And last is Galaxy Rose, which is a mid-toned violet pink color. Here you have the 3 new lipstick colors. These are $14.50 each. From left to right you have Cusp of Dawn, Venus, and Fire Sign. All of them have luster finishes. Here's Cusp of Dawn. This is a beige pink, Max says, but really there's no pink tone to it, it's just a beige. Next is Venus. This is a sheer yellow-based pink, which I suspect will be quite a popular color in this collection. And third is Fire Sign, which is a red pink. I always get asked for swatches of these on the lips. I do have those available for you. They are on the blog with the review, but I don't include them in videos like this. Alright, so there you have MAC's Heavenly Creature collection, one of MAC's very large mineralized collections. Overall, I do think this is a good collection. The eyeshadows, a lot of times mineralized eyeshadows are really disappointing, but this time they were pretty good. Nothing really amazing except for maybe that color in Sky, but overall I think pretty solid in terms of pigmentation and smooth, even finishes. The lipsticks are nice. Again, nothing fantastic. They are all luster formulas, so you won't get anything with really opaque finishes or really intense colors, but all three of them are very wearable. The Mineralized Blushes, again, nothing too frosty, which is good. And in general, the blushes do have really good pigmentation, with the exception of Solar Ray, which was really, really disappointing. It has almost no color payoff when you actually blend it over the skin. The Cream Sheen Glasses, not my favorite formula. They will be translucent, so they are wearable no matter which of the colors that you choose from the 5 available. They glide on very easily, they're very smooth and moisturizing, but they don't last a very long time. I would say between an hour and a half, depending on how much you're talking or eating and drinking. And then you have the much anticipated Mineralized Skin Finishes. You have the very pigmented Earth Shine, which can double as a blush if you want to. It's not very flattering when it's used with a heavy hand, but I think if you use it with a light hand, that purple-brown tone, especially on darker skin, can look very nice. The other ones are not as heavily pigmented, more typical of previous Mineralized Skin Finishes, so you can use them as a face powder or as blushes if you layer them. They aren't too chunky, which is something that I really don't like with, for example, MAC's Soft and Gentle, which has really chunky glitter and for some reason is very popular, but I don't think is a very flattering texture on the skin. These don't have that sort of negative characteristic, so that's very good. Those are my initial thoughts on the collection. Again, for more in-depth reviews and photographs, check allurabeauty.com. I hope you enjoyed looking at this collection with me. Stay tuned for a video of MAC's nail lacquers collection. And of course you can check out any of the other previous videos that I've done. Alright, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I will see you in the next one.